What if the key to the Lakers' next era of dominance isn't built through blockbuster moves or headline-making free agency decisions, but rather through the subtle, often overlooked calls about players many are ready to write off? What if this team doesn't need another seismic shakeup, but instead needs to reevaluate the value of the pieces already in place? So, let's talk about what came out of First Take today. And it's something that's honestly been long overdue in Lakers conversation. Because rather than constantly searching for what's next, the show posed a bold question. What if the Lakers' next great leap comes from trusting what they already have? We're talking about guys like Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent, two names that have bounced around in trade speculation for months now. The general idea has been, move them, clear cap space, get a 3-and-D wing who can defend alongside LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic, or add a backup big who offers a more stable defensive presence. Makes sense on paper. But what if that's not the full picture? On First Take, they brought attention to the idea that Kleber and Vincent might actually have more value staying than going. And starting with Maxi, it's fair to say his stock took a major hit last season. He had the worst numbers of his career, just over 3 points, 3 rebounds, barely 1 assist per game. His shooting tanked, under 39% from the field, and a painful 26.5% from deep. And yes, he only appeared in 34 games due to injuries. After being traded mid-season, he never even suited up during the regular season. Just a quiet 5-minute showing in the playoffs. But that's the thing. Quiet doesn't mean done. A healthy Maxi Kleber brings a unique toolkit to the table. A big who can slide between the 4 and the 5, guard multiple positions, block shots, and, when he's right, knock down the corner 3 with consistency. That stretchability is something the current Lakers front court doesn't have in abundance. Hayes, Kokon, Jamison. None of them offer that same versatility. And when Kleber plays the 5, he opens up the lane by pulling opposing centers out of the paint, creating room for creators like Luka to operate. That's a level of synergy built over years. It's not easily replaced. And for a team like the Lakers, trying to compete in a Western Conference loaded with size and switchable lineups, giving up that flexibility could be costly. You want to beat teams like the Warriors when they go small, or hold your own against the length of teams like Minnesota or Houston. You need someone like Kleber, someone who can adjust, adapt, and stretch the floor on both ends. And despite his rough regular season, he's shown time and time again he's built for the playoffs. 45 career postseason games, nearly 6 points, 4 rebounds per game, shooting close to 39% from 3 in those moments. That matters, especially for a Lakers team that needs role players to step up when it counts. Health is a concern, no doubt. He hasn't played 50 games in a season since 2020-21, but if he can get back to form after surgery, that's not just hope, that's upside. According to First Take, and as mentioned by Dan Wyke from The Athletic, the Lakers aren't closing the door on him. They still view him as a valuable stretch big. His recovery is reportedly progressing well, and there's belief internally that he could contribute in meaningful ways next season. Then, there's Gabe Vincent. Like Kleber, he's become a name fans love to throw into mock trades. Last season wasn't what people hoped for. After missing most of the previous year with a bone bruise in his knee, he came back healthy and played 70 games, but many felt underwhelmed by his production. And here's where the First Take crew really brought the nuance. Gabe wasn't great early on, but his role shifted multiple times. There were chemistry challenges, limited consistent minutes, and he never truly got into rhythm. But is that on him or the system around him? Because if you step back, you'll see that Vincent has value beyond just his stat sheet. He's a gritty defender, a capable shooter when his feet are set, and he brings a toughness and steadiness off the bench that isn't always captured in numbers. And what's more, the Lakers need guards who can take pressure off LeBron and Reeves, especially defensively. That was another point emphasized on First Take. Vincent might not be a game-changer every night, but in a postseason series where depth is tested, having a guard with playoff experience who's battled in meaningful games before could prove critical. So while the trade machine might suggest it's smart to deal these guys for newer, flashier options, maybe it's smarter to look inward, reassess. What if holding onto Kleber and Vincent gives you something trades can't? Chemistry, continuity, and playoff-ready depth. In the end, it's not about being loyal to name. It's about asking, what kind of team are we trying to build? If the Lakers are aiming to be deep, versatile, and defensively reliable, then maybe, just maybe, the guys you already have, the ones being overlooked, might be exactly what you need. And that's what came out of First Take today. Now it's your turn. Where do you stand on this? Are Kleber and Vincent more valuable on this team than off it? Could patience finally pay off in purple and gold? Drop your thoughts. Let's keep this going. Now, let's go deeper into what First Take laid out, especially when it comes to Gabe Vincent. His early season struggles in October and November were hard to miss. That post-injury rust pulled his averages down, no doubt. But once he found his legs, things changed. From December onward, he quietly averaged close to 8 points per game, shot a respectable 38% from deep on solid volume, added about 2 assists a night, and even posted a slight positive in plus-minus. Nothing that'll make headlines, but exactly the kind of output you'd expect from a reliable role player. Someone not being asked to carry, but to complement. He even led the Lakers in scoring off the bench twice, proving that he has that flip-the-switch capability on any given night. Those sparks matter. But here's where the debate gets interesting. First Take raised the question, does that level of contribution justify holding on to Gabe rather than flipping his expiring deal? The consensus leaned toward yes, if there isn't a clear upgrade available. It's not about being passive. If the Lakers have a shot at a true 3-and-D guard who can defend at the point of attack, hit shots, and slot into this rotation with consistency, you make that move. No hesitation. But if that perfect piece isn't out there, trading Vincent just to say you did or to trim payroll might be a mistake. The chemistry he's developed, the way he flows within both Luka's and LeBron's offensive rhythm, his ability to work off the ball or initiate in a pinch, even his defensive presence navigating screens, all of that adds quiet value. Not elite, not flashy, but honest work. So when you zoom out, what First Take emphasized was this: neither Max Kleber nor Gabe Vincent are stars, and they aren't supposed to be. But that doesn't mean they're disposable. Kleber brings that rare positional flexibility and spacing the Lakers simply don't have right now in their big man group. And Vincent, when given rhythm and a consistent role, has the two-way savvy that helps stabilize rotation. It's easy to overlook these pieces when the spotlight is chasing bigger names. The temptation to make a splash move always looms. But what happens if the Lakers take a breath and simply hold? Resist the instinct to chase movement for movement's sake? As First Take suggested, that restraint might be the smartest play. And as a fan who's watched this team ride the wave of highs and heartbreaks, you start to see a pattern. It's often the overlooked guys, the ones dismissed in trade rumors, who become the glue of something great. Because here's the deeper layer. This isn't just about roster moves. It's about legacy. LeBron James, at this stage of his career, isn't just chasing another title. He's chasing a finish worthy of the journey he's carved through basketball history. Every choice the Lakers front office makes now, every trade, every rotation shift, every decision to keep or cut a role player reverberates through that legacy. And it doesn't stop with him. Anthony Davis is still in the thick of his prime, asked year after year to carry more weight. Bronny James's path is just beginning, full of promise and pressure. All of this unfolds under a microscope. So when First Take puts names like Max Kleber and Gabe Vincent under that same lens, it's not random. It's about understanding how the quietest moves can end up defining a franchise's next chapter. These are not just stats and salary. These are the hinges upon which dynasties turn. You gamble on the wrong short-term fix, the wrong, shiny new addition, and you risk more than chemistry. You risk trust. You risk the culture that's been quietly rebuilt. Because Kleber, when healthy, flashes shades of those fearless role players from the Lakers' grittier eras. You know the type, sacrificing stats for stops, battling through injuries, rotating hard, diving for loose balls. the guy who's out there not to be noticed, but to matter. And Vincent? His movement without the ball, the dogged perimeter defense, the rhythm three that shows up when the offense stalls, those are traits you can't manufacture on the fly. They're habits. They're woven into the way LeBron and Reeves like to operate. Ball movement, spacing, intelligence. That's where Gabe fits. Not perfectly, but purposefully. Lose that, and suddenly, you're not just filling minutes. You're scrambling for answers. And let's be honest, the Lakers don't have the luxury of uncertainty. Not now. Not with a roster built to compete today. Not with the Western Conference getting deeper, tougher, smarter every season. First Take reminded us, in the search for upgrades, don't ignore the soul of the team. Don't forget what it means to have role players who care, who fight, who've bled in your jersey. It's easy to chase potential. It's harder to recognize reliability. And this front office, they see that. Sources close to the situation shared that there's still internal belief in both players. It's not just coach speak or keeping trade value alive. There's genuine trust in their upside if given the chance. Because at the end of the day, you need guys in that locker room who understand the moment, who lift their teammates and don't flinch when the lights are brightest. And when you've got LeBron leading, AD anchoring, and Bronny just stepping into the frame, you don't want chaos. You want clarity. You want confidence. You want teammates you can count on. So now the ball's in your court. How do you see it? Is keeping Kleber and Vincent the kind of subtle genius move that could quietly stabilize this team? Or are we clinging to comfort when it's time to swing for something bold? Because that's the edge we're standing on. And whatever happens next, the decisions made in these coming weeks could echo far beyond training camp. This team risks losing its soul if it carelessly casts aside the pieces that truly hold it together. And what about Bronny, a young man growing up in the massive shadow of greatness, watching the franchise closest to his family either crumble or transform? Doesn't he deserve to see that this organization values more than just superstar allure, that it honors loyalty, determination, and heart? There's power in building from within, in believing in the grinders, the glue guys, the ones who step up when the pressure burns hottest. This journey isn't only about wins and losses, it's about identity. It's about the fire we carry into every game, the standard we hold ourselves to, a standard built not on shortcuts, but on grit and integrity. So let me ask you, what's truly worth more? Chasing instant glory with numbers and headlines, or slowly constructing a legacy rooted in trust, resilience, and real belief? What if keeping these two players, who many overlook, isn't the safe route, but the most courageous decision this front office could make? What if this is the turning point, where the Lakers shut out the noise, the desperation, the urge for quick fixes, and instead invest in the quiet warriors already wearing purple and gold? Because maybe, just maybe, the next legendary chapter isn't written with blockbuster trades or A-list signings, but with the redemption arcs of players like Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent, steady, underestimated, and ready to be the foundation of something unbreakable. I'm not claiming to have all the answers, but as a Laker for life, here's what I believe. The franchise is standing on the edge of something massive. One step could lead to reckless collapse, another to a patient rise back to greatness. And in that moment of decision lies our future. Now, it's your turn. Drop your thoughts below. Every true fan who bleeds purple and gold, this is your moment. Your voice matters. Because this story isn't finished yet. And the next chapter? It could redefine everything.